Hi there, Melissa Llarena, your career coach and the founder and CEO of Career Outcomes Matter. Today's job search nugget has everything to do with salary negotiations. This question comes from an events management professional in higher education, and she asks, what specific tips do you give on negotiating a better salary? So here are some ideas that you may have not considered when it comes to negotiating a better salary or offer. One thing is the following. The salary negotiation conversation does not begin after you've been presented with an offer. It really begins much earlier in the process. So it begins during that first impression that you make with a prospective employer. It might be when you submitted your resume. And on your resume, what you need to have there is basically the extent to which you've made an impact in the past. So ways that you've brought about revenue, reduced costs, or have changed an organization in some meaningful way. The other thing that you need to know is that when it comes to negotiating your salary, you also, other than having those things on your resume, you need to know what your projected ROI would be for your prospective employer. So how do you get to that number? It is complicated, but we're just going to estimate based on the sort of ROI that you've provided for prior employers. So I want you to really just be honest with yourself and have a good sense of the way that you've made an impact in your prior organizations. Have you been able to support your total compensation based on your prior impact? If the answer is yes, then figure out a way to communicate that exact same message to a prospective employer. The way that you have potentially brought about a 10x sort of ROI on prior employers based on all of the work that you've done for them. Ways that you have brought revenue or reduced costs. That's one example. The other thing that's really important for you to know before you step foot into another salary negotiation conversation is that your prior job title will influence what people assume you are worth. Now, if you have a job title that is not a complete indicator of your full scope of responsibilities, I suggest you lay out the fact that you're responsible for X budget, this many people, whatever sort of goals were important to you back then, and you explain exactly what your scope of responsibilities were so that you are comparing apples to apples. I hope these 3 tips really help you in your next salary negotiation. If you'd like to have a conversation with me, just go ahead, email me. My email address is melissa@melissallarena.com, and it's right in the comments. So if you have any questions, if you want to make sure that you don't leave money on the table before your next salary negotiation, then reach out to me. Have an amazing, amazing day, and make sure you get what you are worth. Bye.